Hello, hello. It's Renee, and it is time for our 11 o'clock Monday live stream for the challenges of the week. And you guys all wanted, maybe not all, but a lot of you, enough of you said, I love to get rid of some inner thigh pudge. And you know, the inner thigh is a tough place to get to. But I have a couple moves for you guys for this week that I think you're going to be kind of blown away by. And yes, they do work with, consistency. Yes, it's the C word. So hopefully this will be good, and we'll do it at least for the week. You guys might tell me you want to keep going with it, which is great as well, because it's going to, all these moves are going to work, all of it, as we already know. You might even want to add to your whittle the middle. So then we have the middle, we've got the inner thighs, it's all good. So thank you so much for joining me. And before I start, I just want to thank you all so much. You're so kind. When I said I couldn't come on because of my back, you just showered me with love. And I got to tell you, I felt that love, and that really made a difference. Thank you. And probably, part of what happens is why would my back go out? Well, all of our backs can go out, and it really has to do with our own default movements. And I just happen to be somebody, I happen to know that I am very right side dominant. So when I start to do a lot of moves, I have to be really mindful that I balance my left and my right. So you'll probably always hear me going and just check, are you feeling it on both sides? But then when I start to go faster and I'm really focused on what I'm doing, especially if I'm teaching, my focus is more on you all and not so much on myself. And then sometimes over time, we can pull it out. So I'm still babying it, but it's so much better. So anyway, welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you stayed safe and you're happy and you're healthy. And hey, Kayleen and Chris, thank you. Just give me a thumbs up or a flower or a heart or something to let me know that the sound is good, because sometimes the sound goes out and I don't know. So I'm going to make an assumption that it's okay. And let's begin right now. So for this week's inner thigh pudge challenge, I got some interesting stuff for us. So on some of them, thanks, Tammy. I just want to make sure it's good. All right. So for this week, we're going to be using some toys. Now, you don't have to use toys if you don't have them. And I've got common household things that you can use for the toys if you don't want to go off and get anything else. So what toys are we going to use? Well, I happen to love me my ball, you guys. I just do. I love this ball. It's a 9-inch exercise ball. It's kind of squishy, as you can tell. You can get them on Amazon, Walmart. They're just cheap toys, okay? But it's great for muscle activation, as you're going to see in a minute. But if you don't want to go out and get a ball for, a couple of moves or whatever, guess what? You can use, ta-da, paper towel wrap. Paper towel works, and I'll show you both ways. Okay, so you can get that. The other thing we're going to do, standing, is I'm going to be using for one move, these are called gliding discs. You can see how shiny they are in the back. And gliding discs are also flippin' amazing to help us get even more muscle activation. But if you don't want to go out and get these little gliding discs, again, I got them on Amazon. You can get them on Walmart. You can do paper plates. So these are a little bit thicker paper plates. They don't work quite as well as the gliding disc, but they will certainly do the trick for our inner thighs. Okay. All right. So we got all that. Now I'm going to start with the first move that actually requires no toys. Now, I always say, if you're looking at tightening and toning something, we have to figure out, all right, like for the middle, right? I said, if we want to tighten and tone, we have to figure out a way that we can get into these muscles and cinch them in, right? So if you're trying to tighten and tone here, doing plies isn't really going to tighten and tone you here, right? Because it's not doing anything for this. If you want to get inner thighs, we've got to be squeezing them puppies in, right? So while plies definitely will do it, and I'm going to show you how to get even more out of it, it's not just focused on that. For me, most of the time, I'm feeling it more in here. Yes, inner thigh, but not specific. So let me show you an interesting move that you can do. First one, it's not necessarily t-tap, but you're going to see why it's based off of one of our favorites. All right, so first thing I want you to do, let's get ourselves in. This time, I just want you to put your feet with your big toe ball joints touching. But if your feet are parallel on the side, guess what? Your heels are out. Yeah, that's a little secret there. So all I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to shift back into my heels. And I'm going to think from my tush, I want to turn out. And then bring them back. Just so you start to get that sense of a turnout from the tush. So I'm going to shift back, toes will lift, and open. So I'm open. I like that because it helps you get that turnout from here. Now, we don't want to have a big turnout. We're not like this. It's a small pie, okay, small pie. I'm going to put my hands low on my hips to stretch up. Now, you can feel free to use a chair here if you have challenge with balance. I might touch it there, but that's why I have it there so you know. I just want you to take one leg out. Good. So now I want you to think. Your standing knee is slightly bent, your tailbone is down, and I want you to think, turn out at the hip and lift. Now, my leg is bent, my toe is pointed, and I'm stretching up. My hip is not lifted, the hips are down. I'm going to take my hand and rotate out even more. Now, why? If I'm lifting, I want to lift from my inner thigh. And I'm going to keep pressing hands down to keep those hips down. So does this look a little bit like a crab claw? So this is crab claw standing. So focusing in on tailbone down and really rotating out. The lift is from the inner thigh. So let's go 5, 4, 3. Keep the turn out. 2, 1. Now, watch this. I'm going to, here's where I'm going to have to touch. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. I straighten my stander also, but you don't have to. Just straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Keep that turn out. Straighten and bend. Oh, you're going to feel it. I'm dying. Now, what would happen if I flex? Turn it all the way out. Flex, reach from the heel. Straighten and bend. Press, straighten and bend. 2 more. Straighten and bend. Last one. Straighten and bend. Oh, now girls, I don't know about you, but I felt that. And I felt that all the way from the inner knee pudge all the way up to here. So let's do the other side. I'm going to just move this in case I needs it. Give you a second to get yourself back in. And externally rotate. Hand is here. Bend the knees slightly and draw that leg out. Do a lift. It's no notice. I'm not lifting high. It doesn't matter. Like I could lift to here and I'll feel it in a different place, but it's not really that important that you lift high. What's important is take the hand and do the turn out. So again, I'm going to really turn that leg out and lift. 2, keeping the hip down. Really feel like you're lifting from the inside of that leg. Let's go for 5 and 4. Hips down. 3, 2, 1. Pause. You're ready. Keeping the turn out. See, I could turn out even more. Straighten and bend. Ribs up. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Give me 2 more. Last one. Okay, you ready? Flex. All right, flexing, turning out even more. Reach with the heel in. 2, straighten and bend. Straighten it and bend. Straighten it and bend. Give me 3. Give me 2. Give me 1. Reach from the heel and drop it on down. Woo! All right, you guys. That is some great move for inner thigh pudge. All right. Crab claws on standing. Okay, now we're going to grab a toy. So again, you can use paper towel. You're going to put it here. I'm going to use the ball, but I wanted to show you, you absolutely can do that. Because we need to be squeezing them in our thighs, do we not? So let's bring the ball above, above the knee, but below the lady parts. There you go. Now, just standing here. One thing I want to show you is, ideally, you want your feet underneath the hip ball joints, okay? Sometimes with whatever you're using, if it's wide, we tend to go too wide. But now we can't really squeeze squeeze very much, right? So I'm going to bring my feet where I want to, and now I'm going to have to really squeeze that ball. So I want you to do that. Give yourself a small knee bend. Hands on your lower belly. You ready? This is easy. Squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze the ball, release. Now notice when you squeeze the ball, what happens to the belly? The belly goes in. This is great, by the way, for pelvic floor strength. Yeah, squeeze the ball, pull up and release. Squeeze, pull up and release. Just doing this, do it about, I'm going to tell you 8 times. I don't know what my count is now, so just say 5, 4, 3, squeeze it in, 2, 1. Okay, no, you're not done yet. No, you thought you were done. You're not done yet. We're going to do some squats. Now, remember that squats, I'm going to put my hands here. Feel free to do that. Squats require your shifted back. Please, none of this. Now, this looks like a flat back, doesn't it? It's not. You've got to really arch that tail up, and you can put your hands wherever. You're going to shift back, okay? Shifting back, seeing how low you can get this. Again, none of this. When you come up, you're squeezing the ball, and you can even press those hips slightly forward, squeezing the ball. So the squeeze is on the up. So you're going to go down, squeeze and lift, and squat, squeeze the ball and lift, and out and lift. I like to take my arms out here just to counterbalance and pull up, pull the elbows back. Squat and lift. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can even do this and press the arms back. You can arch, notice what I'm doing here, 90 degrees, and pull back. Might as well work some triceps, right? And squeeze the ball in, squeeze the ball, ribs up, in, squeeze, ribs up, last one, in. Boy, I'm getting hot. Squeeze the ball and in. Now, if you want a little more, you can go down to a low level, okay? You can put your hands here if you need to. This is a small up and down. Now, when you come up, you're squeezing. Squeeze up, release down. Squeeze up and down. And 3 and down. Ready? 4 and down. Give me just 5. 5 and down. Now come all the way up. Press forward. Now we're going to go a higher range of motion, but up and down. In other words, I'm just going to go to here. I'm not down. I'm up, and I'm going to squeeze up and down. Squeeze up and down. Just notice here is a little bit different feeling, isn't it? Keep squeezing there. Come up, release. Squeeze up, release. Give me 2 more. Squeeze up, release. Squeeze up, release, and come all the way up and press it forward. Whew! You think that might help you get rid of a little bit of inner thigh pudge? I'm here to tell you it will. Yes, yes. Toys. Again, use the paper towels. Now, I'm going to show you one more for inner thighs. I'm going to use my discs, okay? Again, paper plates. Actually, if you're on carpet or even hardwoods, sometimes socks will even work, okay? But I happen to love these discs, so I'm going to use them. Let me see if you can see them. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. All right, so when you use the disc, be very careful at first because I'm telling you, it's very intense. So notice that I have, let me go away from where my writing is. My foot is on the middle of it. My heels are off the discs. I have both discs under here. I'm going to start here. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to lift that heel. I'm going to slide out to about a plie. I'm going to plie. Now we know, don't shift that hip forward. You're going to hear. Now here's the trick. You're going to lift the heel and you're going to use those inner thighs to pull in. Yes, you are. Let's do a few on that same side. Take the heel out. Drop first. Get your plie, nice plie first, and then pull it in. What do you use in inner thighs? Take it out. I like to do a little ballet arm here. Pull it on out. Let's go out again. Out. Drop, cross. Pull it in. How many of these do you have to do? Well, not a whole lot, right? Because you can feel it. And out and drop. How about 5 each side? That would be a great challenge. Take it out. Drop and pull it back in. Yes, yes. Let's go to the other side. Whoop, I guess I need to go this way. You ready? Out. Plie. Pull it in. Take it out. Drop. Plie. Make sure that you do it all separate moves. That way you protect everything because you really want to be able to control this move with the pull in. Give me one more. take it out, drop. Again, make sure you're not doing this, right? I don't care if it's just to here. That part's not important because you're still pulling in and pulling in with those inner thighs. Fun, right? You can use paper plates, as I said, or the gliders. So how you guys, good. You guys love this one? Yeah, Tammy, it is on the ball floor workout. So good. All right, so now we are going to go to the floor. All right, I'm going to top my cami a little bit, so make sure you guys can see it. Now, there are quite a few floor moves that we could do for this. But I thought, really? Crab claws. So I don't know if you guys know a lot of crab claws. I'm going to kind of detail it out a little bit here for you. I like the stander, to be honest, right? Because you can feel it. I know a lot of you don't love getting on the floor. So the stander works. But if you want to do this one, you're going to have your hands, your arms back, fingers to the side, and the pointer fingers, which is the first one, you want up. Now, why is the pointer finger up? Watch. If I'm here, I'm still going to bend. But if I lift, what happens? Automatically, those elbows bend towards the center of my body. And now I can get my ribs up. Here's where you want your feet so that the heels are right about butt bones. Okay, this is just like an in-outs, straight in and out. So that's where you're at. We call this a critter foot or a clab foot. So you can just touch, look at the difference. If all I'm doing is my heels are down, I'm going to lift my heels. Now that's where I'm basically on my little toe. What you ideally want, and you'll feel it as soon as you do it, you want to take your foot, if you can see my foot, let me see where you can see it, and really externally rotate the foot. Did you see what I did? So it's here. I'm externally rotating. Now, if I externally rotate the foot, I get an external rotation. Oh, yeah. All the way up the body. So that's called, I'm going to go back so you can see, a critter foot. Really good to do even with in-outs. So I'm going to do that. So you'll hear me say, last 3 toes are on the ground. Now, crab claw is just like it sounds. It's actually a great name for it because you see crab claws look like this, right? So you never change the angles. That's the difference. And the whole idea of this is you're going to be pressing the one leg in to allow the other leg to lift without changing any angles. So I'm leaning back. I'm tucked under. Okay, so did you see what I did? I tucked. I'm pressing. So I'm going to press this foot in to lift the leg and drop. Press the foot to lift. So you have to press the opposite down to lift. And 4, and we do it to the count of hoe downs. Let me go to the other one I just did 4. So I'm going to press and lift and drop. Press, lift, and drop. Now notice I'm also lifting my ribs. 3, I think this is 4. Here we go. You know I'm not good at counting. I'm going to switch the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch sides, press, lift. And 2. Notice, see, I'm not opening my angles at all. Let's go 2s. Press, lift. 4, 2. Switch, lift. 4, 2, switch, 4, 2, and 2s. I am just sweating. Let's go singles. Press, drop, lift, drop, 3, 3, lift. Last 1 each side. Oh my goodness, bring them in. Ooh, then bring these legs up. Now you can do a nice little torso turn. I like to do this. If you can keep your knees together, do. And then press this hand in and lift. So you get a great stretch up and over. Press to lift. Good. Up and over. And boy, I bet you are going to feel that. All right. So crab claws, great. And the nice thing is, yes, they work, as you can tell, inner thigh, but also a lot of outer thigh and even ribs up, get you upper body. All right. Now, for this last one on the ground, I'm going to use the ball. Yes, you can use the paper towels. You guys, in our back, in our units, there is a unit there. I'm going to roll down here. There is a unit there called the cramp and cry. The cramp and cry is fabulous for inner thigh, okay? This is a version of it, but we're going to use a ball. So again, you might want to go in units and do the whole cramp and cry. And I actually did a video for every day in that challenge. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're down in this position. The ball goes, yes, between the legs, right above the knee. So again, make sure that the feet are hip width. You don't want them out, right? If I'm here, I'm not going to be able to really feel it. I'm going to put my feet right underneath my hips. I personally like to pigeon toe my feet, okay, because then I get much more of a neat little toe, a tuck and turn out, even for the outside of the hips. I know we're working inner thigh, but you might want to try that. Now my arms are straight down on the ground, and I'm going to feel like my heels are pressing into my hands and my hands are pressing down towards my feet. Just feel that. Now I'm going to press into my heels and lift that body straight up. Oh, girls, here we go. Guess what you're going to do? You know it. You're going to tighten those thighs, squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze the ball, release. I like to put my hands now on that lower belly because every time you squeeze, you'll find that the belly goes in and release. And give it 5, 4, try not to drop, keep the tail up. 3, 2, 1, squeeze, squeeze. I am shaking. And I like to do a roll down from the top back on down. So you can then push and lift. How about 3? 1 squeeze, 2 squeeze, 3 squeeze, roll all the way down and all the way on up. Give me squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. Roll from the top vertebrae all the way down and the bottom vertebrae all the way up. I can only do one more set, you guys. I am shaking. 1 squeeze, 2, 3, 4, and 5 from the top, roll all the way down. Oh my goodness, grab that ball. Whoo! Now, here is a great one to do after you do all that. This is a t-tapp move if you've ever seen. I believe this is on ladybug floor. And you're going to bring the legs up. Now you want to make sure that you can keep flat back here. Okay, so belly button in, flat back, straight. Good. Arms, let's do our bear. Turn it out next to you so you can have a good support system there. Toes are pointed. Good. Rotate the legs, externally rotate them. Take those legs out. Oh, I know, this is beautiful, right? What a pretty angle. All right, now, just allow these legs to just hang and relax there, okay? You're just hanging and relaxing. Let's flex the feet. Really press through those heels. Now, take the whole leg, rotate so that the feet are facing your face, and press those inner thighs to bring yourself back up and point. So here we go. You're going to take it out, flex. I call it a pigeon toe. So you're turning the whole leg in, pulling in, and point. Let's go faster. Out, flex, pigeon in, and point. Just 2 more. Out and flex, pigeon in, and point. Last one. Out and flex, pigeon in, and point. We're just going to do 2 of this next one. Externally rotate, take it out. You're ready. You're going to bend lower leg. You're going to bring it back out and straighten. Just 1 more. Out and bend and up and press them together. Bend and drop. Roll over. Ta-da! Guess what? That's going to be your inner thigh pudge challenge for the week. Now, you don't have to do all of those. Maybe pick a couple that you found really made a difference for you that you could do depending on time. You could do just the standing. You can do just the floor. You can combine it. So now you have lots of different ways to do it. You can do it with toys. You can do it with paper towel. So I wanted to give you lots of options, and then you'll share kind of what you did and how you're feeling it. But you guys, if you've tried it, can you see how you can really get some great inner thigh work going on? And I bet you any money you're going to be like, who said to do inner thighs? I'm not going to do those. I don't think it's worth it. It's worth it because you're really working, tightening and toning. And the other thing that I really do love about it, I've mentioned, is noticing. I really notice that when you squeeze, how that really also works pelvic floor. And you know, as us women, we do tend to have issues with that. So you really want to feel that lifting up as well from the pelvic floor as you're doing your squeezing. So I hope that that worked for you guys. And again, thank you for being so sweet to me. When I wasn't feeling great. You can tell I'm kind of back now, though, right? And thanks, Nikki. Yes, cramp and cry. So cramp and cry is doing that very similar thing, although you're just squeezing those knees together. So if you want to see that when it's in the units, check that one out. And maybe that's what you do for this week's challenge. Believe me, it is challenging to do that. So blessings to all of you guys. I know it's the middle of the day. I love you all. And just keep sharing. Just keep sharing. Keep tapping and keep sharing. Mwah. Go have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, so now